Here's the big box everything came in. Any guesses on what's in there?
Have you ever just watched something on YouTube and then said, I gotta get one of those? That's what this is. I watched somebody who had a need for this. This is really cool. The price of this thing, I've been following it, just keeps going up, 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 higher than what it was when he purchased it. And I don't know, I'm rolling the dice here. We're gonna give it a try. Hopefully, it's a good addition to the shop.
Well, it would have been if it didn't lose its zero and double cut over here. I don't know how that happened. This part's all good. The outer profile moved, looks like 1/4 inch or so, and those holes are completely off. Cool. Try again. That's better. Got the plates off the plasma. Used our trusty stone here as we were cleaning up someone's boo-boo on the weld table to go ahead and stone these plates. They look really nice. I also bolted the upright for this guy to this plate. Now, ideally, these plates are supposed to line up completely, and the bottom one has pockets for these screw heads. So this is bolted here. Was going to weld it together, both plates, top and bottom. There's a little bit of alignment issue here, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to line it up. The poles are meant to match the holes in the fixture table. I'm going to line it up, put it where I think I want it to go, and then if we need to adjust it, move it, or change it, we're not out that wasted time. Also, it doesn't really need welded per se. Wouldn't hurt anything, but no real added benefit, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So try to put it back over in that corner without it hitting the wall. I want to make sure the cart can still go up against the wall. Something like that. Something yellow. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to get this thing out of this box, get it up on the post that we just mounted to the weld table, and see just what this thing does and if it's going to do anything and if it was even a good idea. I don't know. See if we can't get it out of this box without dropping it or pinching the crap out of ourselves. Everything moves. Pinch your fingers, it says. Oh! Okay, she's on there. Nice. Okay, with all the Allen wrenches, it's kind of handy. I think this is, yeah, okay. Definitely out of alignment on the head here. We'll have to adjust that. Let's see, you got another handle here for this side. Yeah. Okay. We got 4 screws, which I'm guessing are to bolt it down. We need a screw for this. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let's power on, see what's gonna happen. Is it gonna be in English? So I don't know how the screen's going to turn out, but we did find a way to get to Imperial. And we got quarter 20 selected there. And it's still reading in millimeters, but it automatically filled in all the fields. So I adjusted the depth, 20 millimeter, which is a little over 3/4. We got an auto mode, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. So what I did there is I went down to 20 millimeters automatically, then backed out, and it gives a graph. I'm going to try to capture it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It might flicker, but here we go. Pretending we're lining up with the hole, I'm going to hit the go button. It's pretty cool. It tracks lifetime data, speed, depth, and torque. Plots it. That's pretty cool. It also does a count, so we've got 9 work pieces. You can change the speed. Let's slow it down. Let's go 100. Oops. 100 RPM. And let's go to a depth of 12 millimeters. So it's about 1/2 inch. Now it looks like we changed the back out speed. Rollback speed we made 100. Let's keep that at 200. Tapping speed will make 100. Let's see how that looks. Pretty cool. I'm excited. We need to get a part that we can tap and test out on this thing. All in all, it doesn't take up very much space. And it looks like we can swing the whole envelope of the table pretty easily. Probably get stuck doing stuff over in this area. If we wanted to do that side, we should be able to swing it back around. Yeah, so you should be able to do the whole, should be able to have a reach to the whole table depending on how you swing the arm. And if you want to use it, we'll have to move it. I'll have to adjust its position with the wire rack there a little bit. Maybe slide the whole thing that way. Pretty cool. I want to tap something. So we're trying to set the head up here at least quickly to do this test, and took our level, checked the table. We're roughly level this way, roughly level this way. So in theory, this thing should be level in all directions. Looks like she's off a little bit. Need to adjust that with our clamp. Set up here. This will be the second one. The first one, the setup wasn't really secure enough. Need a better method of clamping. But running the 1/2 inch for the second go. And we're going to change the depth. We're going to make the depth 15 mil, which should get us all the way through. Here we go. Lined up, hopefully it doesn't move. Should be able to hit the button and then let it go. Oh boy. Bingo bango. We got ourselves a tapped hole. So there's a lot of force on that 1/2 inch tap. No problem, it just spun around. The cool part about this is it was luckily able to articulate as it spun. Otherwise we would have broke the tap and had all sorts of problems. 1/2-13. Let's go down to the 1/4 inch and see how that does. Again, trying to do a better job clamping it. I need a vise that'll sit flat up there. So we're going to change it out for, get our 1/2 inch tap out. We can drop our 1/2 inch collet. We're gonna change it out for that 1/4 inch. Pop these 1/4 inch in there real quick. Got our 1/4-20 tap. Nice. Give her a little lube. Oh, spray it all over. Lube can's leaking. Switch it over here in the monitor. 1/4 inch, 15 mil depth. Let's change this to 50. It's gonna bring it down, make sure our clamps aren't gonna hit. There she goes. And I broke the tap off. That's not cool. It was my super tap. That's frustrating. Okie dokie. So we got our plate here that we already broke our tap off in. We got us a brand new, different tap in there. And we made a huge boo-boo on the control panel. We didn't have torque limiting on. We just had drive it on home. And I don't know if we had an alignment issue, but we're gonna give it a go. See what happens. Should be able to dip, go over to our hole, and then hit the go button. I'm gonna hold on to it this time. I'm not doing anything, I'm just holding it. There's one tapped hole. Dip. Again, we're on the auto torque limiting mode. Two tapped holes. Everything's looking super good there. Gonna get our dip on. Third tapped hole. Just hitting the button, not doing anything else, just standing right here, talking to you guys, hoping the tap doesn't break. That is awesome. Do our fourth tap, getting our dip on, hitting the go button. So I slowed the speed way down to 50 revolutions per minute on the tapping speed. Oh, and it's just beautiful. Beautiful. There she is. We got our 4 tapped holes, and I didn't have to re-chuck my drill, tighten it, or finish them by hand. So let's go grab a 1/4-20 bolt and see how good it threads in there. Look at that. So it needs to blow the threads out. I'm curious, with torque monitoring on, can I line it back up, or will it double thread it? Let's see. What's it gonna do? I didn't do anything, I just stuck it in there. Not even touching it. It's not double threaded. Let's see if that cleaned them out a little bit better. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think maybe I didn't go down far enough to get out of the taper tip of the tap. Let's change our depth, come back over to it. Let's see. This is going to be the third time I stuck it in the same hole. Ooh, I missed it. I wasn't holding down tight enough. Let's see. If it's not evident, I did not read the instructions. I really, other than watching a video, don't know much about this machine. Other than it's cool. I know that. Just needed to blow the holes out. Too lazy to bring the blow gun over. I don't know what this thing picks up on camera, but these two holes we set it up and ran the program multiple times through, and they are not double threaded, which I thought for sure it would just grab whatever it can get and plow its way through, but no. Really nice. Threads all the way in. This one we did several times. It's not all loosey-goosey, still nice. And then you can see a closer view of the half 13 that we put in there. That's awesome. Could I tap these by hand? Yes. Would they be slightly crooked? Possibly. Could I break a tap off? Yes. Did I break a tap off with this machine? Yeah, well, that's because I wasn't holding it right and I didn't have the right setting on the machine. My stupid fault. So, we gotta get a new one of those. Well, we put a bigger lead-in chamfer and tried our 6 and promptly broke our 632. We have a different one. Let's try with less down pressure. Is it gonna take hold? I'm letting go now. Nope. Did not like the vertical pressure. As soon as I let go, she was done. Alright. 632 in steel. Not good. So if we want to drill and tap smaller holes, we're definitely going to have to do something different as far as our tap selection. I don't know if that tap is even any good. Offline, I tried to stuff it in there by hand, and yeah, I wasn't getting anywhere either. I think maybe I've only ever used that size of tap for aluminum or very thin sheet steel. So we're going to have to upgrade our taps. We broke, let's see, a couple taps, maybe 2 or 3 in the making of this. We're going to have to get some new taps and further reevaluate it. But so far, it's pretty cool. User learning error. We broke a quarter 20 because we didn't have the torque mode on. And it was not properly aligned. We broke the smaller ones because, well, we couldn't get them started, and they were just putting too much force on the tap. I think we need to get a spiral cut tap. We're gonna get some of those, see what happens after we upgrade our tap game.